Kakadosh Boker Tov, Hannukah Sameach. We're just continuing with the halachot of Hannukah. Siman Tafresh Pei Daled. Maran is going to speak about the entire concept of Kryat Hatorah and Hannukah. Now it's very important, this concept. Why? Because Maran brings down, we read the Parashat Nesi'im in Parashat Naso, 3 every single day, right? And he says, Umatchilim bebirkat kohanim. So we're going to have the beginning of Birkat Kohanim. Why exactly do we start with this parasha? Obviously, we know that the reason why we're actually reading this is because of the entire concept of the Nesi'im, that since it was finished, the Melech Mishkan, on the 25th of Kislev, so therefore, since it's finishing on the 25th of Kislev, we come and we actually read about the Parashat Nesi'im, which was the inauguration on Rosh Chodesh Nisan. We start with Birkat Kohanim, and then we're going to read the Kohen Levi in Israel. He's going to read Bayom HaRishon, Bayom HaSheni, right? Then afterwards, you're going to start already from the second day. The Kohen is going to read from the beginning of the Bayom HaSheni until Parechad Ben Bakar. The Levi reads until Bayom HaShlishi, and the Israel is Choser. The Israel repeats that. Now the question is, why does he do that? The reason why is because I cannot go into Bayom HaShlishi if I'm on the second day of the Hannukah, meaning each day is completely a separate day. And since each day is a separate day of Hannukah, I'm not going to come and start reading Bayom HaShlishi on Bayom HaSheni, or I'm not going to start reading Bayom HaRevi'i on Bayom HaShlishi. That's just the way that it goes. So because of that, I'm only going to read from that day and onwards. Now when it's going to come to Shabbat, obviously, we take out 2 sefarim. The first one is Parashat HaShavua, and the second one is Hannukah. And since the second parasha has to do with, the second Sefer Torah has to do with Hannukah, obviously Minhag HaSfaradim is we always make a Kaddish, and then the Haftarah will be the Haftarah of Hannukah. When it comes to Rosh Chodesh, which is going to be tomorrow, Maran brings down in Siv Gimel, what happens if it falls during the weekday? So what happens is that if it's going to fall during the weekday, he comes and he says, you take out 2 different Sifrei Torah. The first Sefer Torah is going to be of Rosh Chodesh, and you're going to read, right, the 3 different aliyot of Rosh Chodesh. Uvasheni, and in the second Sefer Torah, you're going to read 1 aliyah of Hannukah, which means we know that since there's Musaf, and any time that there's Musaf, there's always going to be 4 aliyot instead of 3 aliyot. So, regular day of Hannukah, there is no extra of anything, which means there's no Musaf, there's no Isur Melacha, so you do not come and you do not have 4 aliyot, you only have 3 aliyot. Even Chol HaMoed, you have Musaf. It's not Asur, you're allowed to do Melacha. You're not allowed to work per se, but you're allowed to do Melacha. So therefore, in Chol HaMoed, you also have 4 aliyot. So therefore, on Rosh Chodesh, you have 4 aliyot. So tomorrow, that's going to be Rosh Chodesh. How do you divide the aliyot? So the first Sefer Torah you take out is of Rosh Chodesh, and you do 3 aliyot of the Rosh Chodesh, and then the last one will be the one of Hannukah with a different Sefer Torah. So therefore, you're actually going to have 2 different Sifrei Torah for tomorrow. Now you do not make a Kaddish in between the third Aliyah and the first Sefer Torah and second one, because since at the end of the day, right, you haven't finished the minyan of the aliyot, which means you do not finish the 4 aliyot, so you do not say a Kaddish between the first Sefer Torah and the second Sefer Torah. Usually whenever we have 2 Sifrei Torah, you finish the 7 aliyot of the Shabbat, so now you come and you make a Kaddish. The second Sefer Torah, you do maftir, you make a Kaddish. You finished the inyan. Here, even though one is Rosh Chodesh and one is Hannukah, since you don't finish the inyan until after the second Sefer Torah, so only after the second Sefer Torah will be a Kaddish, and not after the first Sefer Torah there will be a Kaddish. That's going to be for tomorrow, B'ezrat Hashem.